Humans have a deep desire to form connection, feel understood, be externally validated, and defend their honor. It seems as though most have lost touch with oneness, feeling connection in who you are. As we externally seek this, it's the internal world that screams to be recognized. We shout from the rooftop our reasoning of actions in hopes understanding will make the consequences less harsh. But reasoning will never change actions. It will never right the wrongs done. So how do we right our wrongs? How do we make amends? We start by acknowledging the shadow self, by accepting the wrong that has happened and committed. We acknowledge the part of us that so desperately wants to be understood, the part of us that was shunned in connection. We are all equal parts light and dark, and through human experience, we are shown which parts to embrace. I embrace the dark and show my light. We can solve the feeling to be understood, the need for external validation, and the defense of our honor by connecting with one's self. Being alone with who we are. When we are certain in our identity and open to change, the ego dissolves. So that was a journal entry that I made today because I've been thinking a lot about connection, the human experience, things of that nature. I just had a video on TikTok go viral recently, one of my tarot readings, and the thing that I realized is pretty much all of my tarot readings, with a small percentage of an exception to it, all of my tarot readings are compromised in self-improvement, mindset, getting to work on the shadow self, getting more in tune with who you are as a human being, understanding your patterns, recognizing your behaviors so you can evolve and grow as a human being. And the one thing that I realized with this, so this video that just went viral, it was a video when I'm speaking about like another human, like an ex coming back or something to that nature, to that extent. And that's when I realized the only videos that have ever been viral for me on TikTok have been when I talked about when I addressed my audience, speaking about a person in their life, speaking about a loved one or an enemy or some sort of person that is not them. And it's had me do a lot of reflecting in the sense of people yearn for connection, but the point that I'm trying to make here is we try to seek so much connection through external validation. And it's almost like we forget to connect with ourselves. We forget that the first connection, the most important connection in this whole entire world, is the connection that you have to yourself, to your groundedness, to the infinite. Are you picking up what I'm putting down? And it's just, first of all, I'm not basing my content off of, I just went viral, so now I have to make all these videos about all these other people. No. The way that I make content, I have been doing tarot for years now. Like, I am that friend, like when somebody has a problem with their boyfriend, something in their life, they come to me and they're like, what do the cards say? That's probably a bad example, but the point that I'm trying to make here is tarot has always been an outlet for me. It's been an outlet for me to express myself. It's been an outlet for me to figure out what is going on in my physical world, in my mental world, in my emotional world, in my subconscious and conscious mind. And that's why I made it my vessel of communication when it comes to making content online. And so, with that, my intention will always be to better people's lives, to improve upon what is already there. I am someone who I feel like the human experience, life in general, will always, it's here for us to learn. And to look at it as if we get to some point of mastery and then that's it, we don't have to do anything else, that is a very naive point of thinking of life. I am someone who I always want to be growing. I always want to be learning. I always want to be evolving. And that is the type of work that grounds me, that constitutes me, and that's the type of work that I want to be known for. Now, it is a double-edged sword, and I will say that I am actively learning how to truly be appreciative of where I have come from and where I am at in this moment. Sometimes it is easy for me to get so caught up in the chase of what is next for my life that I really don't take a time to just sit, pause, and reflect and realize, like, wait a minute, I literally am living my dream life. Like, the life that I am living right now is quite literally my dream life. It's everything that I wanted for myself 2 or 3 years ago. And that's how manifestation works. Manifestation works when you hold a vision for yourself and you hold it so strong and you act accordingly. And I'm speaking on this as in, yes, these things that I have now, it took me 2 or 3 years to manifest, but it took me that long to manifest simply because I got so distracted. It's easy to get distracted in what other people think of you, what other people have planned for you, what other people see you as in their life, and showing up for them the way you wish someone would show up for yourself. And that is why I center my content around the inner self, the workings of the inner self, because I think that is the most important work that anyone can do. And I know that's so cliche to say, but it really is the truth. I mean, you want to up-level your connections with other human beings, start by up-leveling your connection that you have with yourself. How in tune with you are you with you? Like, are you picking up what I'm putting down? The point that I'm trying to make here is that this may sound insanely rude, bad, selfish, and you know what? I don't care. My whole life, I have held a vision of what I am meant for. I have held this vision of my legacy living past my life. And the actions, for such a long time, my actions were so conflicting with that vision, with that manifestation, because I was so stuck in seeking my identity and validation through others that I got caught up. I got caught up, I got completely lost. Or you could say there was never a point of interception, of reflection, to where I asked myself, hey, do I actually resonate with this? Or is this something that society is putting on me? Is this something that my family put on me? Is this something that a friend put on me? I myself have lived a life where I have gotten lost in connection with others because the connection with myself was missing. And again, going back to the viral video, I feel like we're all lost. We're all seeking this outward validation, this connection, this proof of worth, of validity, if you will. And it's almost as if like, how are you supposed to feel okay in the validity of what others bring you if you don't even feel it within yourself? And I'm saying that coming from a place of quite literally having my identity imposed upon me based upon like what other people needed out of me. Like my mom, she is disabled. She is a blind woman. And so basically my whole entire childhood, I was coined a blind seeing eye dog. Like I was basically born to make her life easier, to serve her. And last year was the first time that I truly stood up for myself. I stood up for myself in the sense of, that's not what my life is meant to be. I was helping her with her business for a very long time. And it had gotten to the point where I realized if I continue to do this, I'm never going to see out my full potential. If I continue to do this, how will I even know what I am truly capable of? And that's not to say I don't want to help my mom, but it is to say, how are you supposed to help anyone when you don't even help yourself first? And so I have been in this period of isolation, not really isolation in the sense of anybody who put definitions on me are no longer in my life. Since like September, October of last year, and reflecting on this time, it has been some of the most peaceful time that I have ever gotten in my whole entire life. Like, and it brings me so much joy because I feel so much more in tune with myself, but I feel genuinely so confident to go out into the world and express authentically who I am. But this comes from that reflection. This comes from that time that I allow myself to take for myself. And it's like, how can you expect any connection in life to ever fulfill you when you're not even fulfilled with the connection that you have with yourself? And it's just, life is a journey. Life is a journey, and we're all meant to pave our unique paths, our engraved footprints on this world. However big or little we want it to be, it's supposed to be our story. My story isn't supposed to be my mom's story. My story isn't supposed to be my ex's story. My story isn't supposed to be my boss's story. My story is meant to be my own. And so I guess what I'm saying is, if you're still listening this far, who knows? I only have 10 subscribers on YouTube, so who is actually listening to me right now? But the point that I'm trying to make is, I challenge you to fully embellish and reflect in who you would be if no one was there to define you. because that's what I've been doing for the past like 6 months or so. And I've genuinely never felt more myself. And like before this period in time, I had crippling anxiety going out in public. Like crippling anxiety to the sense where I'm constantly seeking and asking for people's advice about my own life. Like, oh, what do you think of me? Do you think I'm a good person? What do you think of this? Do you think I should get this job? What do you think? What do you think? And now I am so certain in who I am, in my gifts. I could give a flying F what anybody thinks, genuinely, from the bottom of my heart. And I'm so happy that I get to experience and live my life from this foundation that I am in moving forward. And I'm excited to see what I can build upon, because I am so centered in who I am, what I offer, what I bring to the table, that it's like for the very first time in my life, I am someone who I hate saying it, but I'm a lover girl, okay? My Venus is in Pisces. Like, I am Venus ruled. I'm a Libra rising. I am a lover girl. I love to be in a relationship. And for the first time ever, I am genuinely happy to be alone. I'm so happy with being alone. I don't want to be in a relationship at all. And it's not to say I don't want human connection. I want human connection, but I want connection in a way that builds upon what I'm already building for myself. If you are again, and this comes from the past that I have lived, the experience that I grew up in, I had a really bad tendency of having this savior complex, like coming in, sweeping people off their feet and being like, oh, I can save you. Like, but the more I think about it, the more I realize I saved myself. I saved myself from the darkest pits of despair and misery that a human being could possibly be in. And in doing that, it's so funny because the whole time I was actively doing this, I was actively saving myself. I was on my knees crying for someone to come save me. I'm on my knees praying to God, begging, like, please, can somebody save me the way I save other people? And now that I've had this time to reflect, it's really so empowering seeing, like, the self-actualization of, oh wait, I actually don't need anybody else. Like, I actually completely did that on my own. I saved myself, and I will always save myself. I will always pick myself back up. And to me, it's just so interesting how we seek so much external connection, external validation, defense in our actions. Oh, I did this because, like, yeah, so what, I did hurt you, but I was doing this to save myself. Like, we put so much time and effort into defending our ego, ourself, that, like, we don't even know who we are. I'm hoping this is making sense, because from the beginning of the video, that was just a journal entry from a thought that I had today, predicated on how the only videos of mine that go viral on TikTok are the ones where I am speaking about other people. And it's like, it just goes to show that, like, 99.99% of people don't actually want to put in the work. They don't actually have what it takes to achieve what they want. So that's why they blame their problems on everyone else except them. That's why they seek all of this external validation. But the real ones, the ones who are on this journey, who are picking up what I am putting down, you know what I'm talking about. You know that this life is an experience and a journey to continually learn from. And it's ever evolving. And for so long, so many, I guess what you could call like tower moments, or like just negative things kept happening to me like over and over and over again. And I still find myself in a moment where something could potentially go wrong. I still find myself going back to that scared position of like helplessness and survival mode of like, ooh, what am I gonna do? What am I gonna do when this comes up? And then the moment happens and I realize it's not as bad as it was. And it makes me realize, one, it makes me appreciate where I come from, because it has taught me so much resilience. And now I am being reflected and shown like, hey, you really are capable of creating any life that you want. So at every moment, at every point of life, make sure you are weaving a web, creating a consciousness that is something that you genuinely want to build from. That is what you want people to see you as. And it's like, it's so refreshing. Really, it really is. And I guess all I have to say from this is that if you're on some sort of spiritual journey, if you are trying to figure out your life, if you're in some sort of identity crisis of who am I, ask yourself who you would be if nobody was watching. Who would you be if nobody was watching you at all? And the answer to that question is how you know where to move from, how you know where to act accordingly to. I have a trip to Japan. I leave on Tuesday. I leave on my birthday. My birthday is on March 3rd, the lunar eclipse. And I'm going to Japan for a week. From the bottom of my heart, I am so freaking excited. Yes, I know Mercury retrograde is here, travel things, everything going on in the world. It's absolutely crazy. But the thing that I'm sticking with, the mindset that I'm having myself with everything going on and my plans to take this trip, what I just keep telling myself is whatever happens is what was meant to happen. I know for a fact, I am so certain in myself, in my capabilities, who I am, that I know for a fact that whatever happens, whatever delays come about, whatever happens, whatever miscommunications or travel delays, anything, whatever happens, is genuinely what is meant for me and my highest good. And I will continue to claim that for the rest of my life, as you should too. So yeah, if you're still listening to this, thank you. Because I'm not going anywhere, okay? I am not going anywhere. You are hearing it right now, right here in this moment. I will be a household name in the spiritual community. I will be looked up to as a leader in the spiritual community. I'm calling it right now. I don't care. And guess what? I don't care how long it takes, because I know this is the path that I'm supposed to be on. So yeah. If you want to join the journey, come on. Come on. Let's grow together.